And we're back. Day 106 of the winter cut. How are you guys doing? Me, I am a hell of a lot better than I was on Saturday when you last saw me and I almost got out squatted by Tyler. Because Sunday, I woke up 2 pounds lighter than I was on Saturday, so it was 2:30 Sunday morning. And I was so unbelievably flat looking that Meana was like, Seth, you need to pull the trigger on the refeed a couple weeks earlier than you were thinking. So I had myself a little bit of a refeed, and what's cool is I woke up at 2:35 this morning, and even though I was still flat at the 2:35, definitely did not spill over at all, was super, super, super dry, and actually had vascularity, and my delts kind of started looking like delts again, so that has me very hopeful for when the calories come back in. And today is my max effort bench day. For that, the plan that I wrote for myself in the Team Activated program app is some American camber bar pressing with the standard grip angle, not the reverse grip, but we're doing the less range of motion direction on her. Bench is really crooked in the rack, so I'm going to fix that now. And today is the first day of the Team Activated Cut Challenge. I'm going to be participating alongside everyone, but I'm not actually counting myself in the competition. But the whole goal of the competition is to give everybody in the team who is cutting a reason to cut better, as well as give everyone who needs an excuse to cut an excuse to get the ball rolling. And what's going down is this week, we're all going to weigh in. We're going to take a squat, bench, and deadlift variation a little bit heavy. And with that, we're going to then retest starting the week of Monday, June 9th. And then the winner is going to be determined based on who can have the most weight loss with the least drop in performance. And we got some sick prizes because second place is going to be one of these ELITEFTS American camber bars. So if you need a reason to cut, hop in the team, join in on the challenge. And if you nail your training and nail your diet so you hold on to strength through the cut, you got a chance to win some free bars. Anyways, my plan here for today is about the same as every max effort day. Gonna work up to a single where it doesn't feel like I'm actually gonna die. And with how Sunday felt, I'm not super optimistic that that number isn't gonna be embarrassing. I don't know though, that actually felt pretty okay. So we'll go 2 1/4. Might actually feel really okay today. Definitely not like good because I am not used to 275 feeling that heavy, but at least it's better than the last couple weeks. So we'll go smart jump with 295. Because it's like the goal with max effort work isn't to just go up to an all-out max and take giant jumps on your way there. The goal with max effort work is to work up to a single that is heavy enough to let you build momentum and then get enough work on the way up there, so small jumps are your friend. And gonna do my best to make sure that this isn't the last jump on the way to that hard enough single. Also, wrist wraps because I'm a pansy. We're taking at least one more jump, probably 2 based on how that one felt. And I know you're probably thinking, like, why is somebody that's supposed to be an expert powerlifting coach excited about benching 315 on a bar that's probably easier than full range comp bench? Well, I am 90 pounds lighter than when I benched 496, and things have been feeling pretty damn rough, so I'm at least a little bit excited about things kind of picking up the pace here. Hey, AJ. Cole, do the thing. Notice in the last set that the platform is a little bit unlevel, so it rocks, so we'll do our best to manage that here. Yeah, that's exciting. And what is also really exciting right now is Team Activated, because people are finally starting to realize how nuts the team is, and it's growing like a weed, and everyone that is joining is just like screaming from the rooftops in the comment sections about the insanity that's going on in there, because there really is nowhere else on earth that you're going to find powerlifting coaching like this, because nowhere else are you getting this much feedback this fast from me every single day on everything you need help with, so you know exactly what it is that you need to be doing to get better, just like that, especially when we think about how you're literally paying hundreds of dollars less than you would for lower quality coaching elsewhere. And the reason I'm so fired up about that is when I started the team a little bit under a year ago, like I had no idea that it could be this good. And the neatest thing about it is that as more people join, it only gets better, because you're going to be able to see the feedback that I'm giving everyone else. You're going to be able to share ideas. You're going to be able to learn. And it really just does become the most expedited learning process possible that you could do as a powerlifter. And I think like what's funny is once people are in there, one of the most common comments that I get is that they have no freaking clue how I can manage that many lifters that well. And I think like the best answer I can give to how I'm doing it is I absolutely freaking love it. And there's nothing I'd rather be doing with my day than spending all day in there answering questions, checking lifts, giving programming, and it's just fun for me. So if you want help with anything powerlifting related, hit the link below, join the team, and I'm gonna take this top set before my hands go numb from the wrist straps. And I don't know, if it goes well enough, maybe it won't be the top set. Okay, fine, that should probably be the top set. Getting her all tracked up now in the team program app, and like even if that isn't like good for what I should be capable of in my head, like I'm still freaking stoked, because if I can still do that feeling like I do right now, I got so much faith that stuff is going to be happening really freaking well as soon as we bring calories back in. Say hi to Joel. Hi, Joel.
Hi, friends.
Video's gonna get 0 views now that I put Joel in it again. But we are now moving on to something that I did differently, or that I'm doing differently from last week, because last week I went into dumbbell presses. But if you guys remember when I did do the volume pullback a couple weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now probably, it got things rolling way better, weight started coming off better, I started feeling better. So I'm gonna pull the dumbbell press slot out, which means never mind, they just sat on the machine when I was getting the camera set up, so we're doing something else. But we're gonna try this guy out now, and still prioritizing pecs on my number 2 today. And even if I am like pulling out the dumbbell press, like the reason I am pulling out the dumbbell press and leaving the machine variation in is that with how I feel, I'm probably not gonna benefit from the extra volume of the dumbbell press, and with the dumbbell press being the harder on me variation compared to a machine, having the less peaking option that I can still crank on is going to be better for driving me forward in the big picture, and we definitely need some weight on this to make it work. Also realizing that I'll probably have to do a little bit more seat height finagling to get this thing correct. Yeah, that's 4 stacked at the bottom. And like, it might not feel as magical as the Pirata, but still feels really freaking good. Ooh, I love that converge. And we definitely gotta put more weight on, so we'll do that. And I'm really hoping that this isn't gonna be another machine where I have to load 5 plates to get to a working weight, so we'll see how this feels. Okay, perfect, that's getting almost workable. What I want you guys to notice here is that at the top, I'm trying to protract all the way through to get a little bit extra serratus working together with my pecs. And obviously that's not what we want to do on bench press, but having that serratus strength is going to help with holding our scaps where they belong as we are lowering the bench bar. That one kind of snuck up on me. So, quarter jump. And hopefully this isn't the work set, but in the theme of fatigue management, as my body weight continues to get lower and lower, going to be pivoting all of my bigger accessories to just one top set, just so that I'm not doing more than I should be, and that I should be able to dig in a little bit harder to the little stuff following. So I'm gonna shut up and press this. Oh, that's getting heavy. Or I'm just really weak. Yeah, I'm counting that as the top set. And now that the tech stuff, or the bigger pec stuff, is done for, time for my favorite part of this training session. Tries for the guys. The guy being Joel, because I'm trying to impress him with growing arms. Anyways, we're running the Incline Smith JM again here because this machine is freaking sick. And I'm also going with a lower incline set than I did last week, just because last week I overcooked the crap out of it, and I want to change the variation so we don't overcook ourselves 2 weeks in a row. Didn't realize the safeties were up. Let me fix that. And I mean, while we're standing up, we might as well just put a plate on. We'll go quarter. Have I mentioned that I freaking love this machine? Because I don't think I have, so I should probably tell you guys again that I love this machine. We'll go two. Forgot to film myself loading the plates, but got spotters for this set so I don't die, even if there isn't a bar that can actually hit me in the face on this machine. Roll her back in.
Yeah.
Meana, please.
Back in. Yeah. Yep,
Thank you. You can't spin that guy because that guy free pivots.
Yeah, it took me a minute.
That actually went much better than I was expecting it to. But based on last week, I'm not going to get greedy because last week's 245 really kind of sucked, and I want to give myself a little bit of room to build into that again. And before we move on to triceps part 2, and I guess pecs part 2 before triceps part 2, because that's what I have written down, we're going to be doing this machine again, but stepped back a little bit to let us touch a little bit of fronties along with the sidey boys. This machine feels really good. FYI, probably like my favorite standing delt raise I've ever done. I mean, the only other standing delt raise I've ever done is the Arsenal, which is good, but not the greatest, but this thing is quite sick. When they get the Arsenal in, I might do a direct comparison. I'll go up. And with all the fatigue stuff that I'm talking about, if you're wondering why I'm okay with going up on this guy, it's like, if I'm worried about fatigue from a delt raise, there's probably going to be something far more wrong with me than pushing the diet hard. So we're cranking. Yeah, I'd say that was cranked. And my hope here is that with Tyler's training days in a row streak being dismantled due to him and his girlfriend both being really sick, is that I can catch up a little bit on this guy. Because, like, really, there's not much that he should be able to beat me on, and I'm kind of pissed that this is one of those things that he can. And you know what? Even if that was hard, I'm gonna try to go up. Because it's like, even if I am cutting right now and have been off of everything for the last almost 11 months, there is no acceptable excuse for me to be getting beat by a 170-pound natty guy. Even if it is the most obscure accessory lift on earth. Not good, but at least I could kind of do it this week. And now that today's delt touching is over, it is time for pecs part 2, where we're going to be running this egregiously heavy pec deck. Might have put too much on, we'll see. I think we can manage. But the strength curve on this thing is so freaking heavy through the whole range, which is really nice because the bottom is just as hard as the top, which means we're actually getting work through the whole range that I need my pecs to be able to work in on bench press. So, am stoked. This thing is insane. Whoopsie daisies. But the other thing I really like about it is that the pad is super skinny, so I can get a lot of scap travel similar to the flies that I like to do on the SS pad with dumbbells. Also, Meana is right over there, and she'll be very pissed at me if she found out that I've gone this far into the vlog without mentioning that the photo series drop featuring 2 shirts with her photos on it, 2 shirts with my photos on it, is going live today. So if you want to grab one, hit the link below and do that with code YouTube to save yourself 10%. And if you don't want to do that, I'm okay with it because that just means more shirts for me. Also going significantly lighter for set 2, which is still really freaking heavy feeling, mostly so I don't die. And so I can get a little bit more stretch in the bottom. And here too, I'm really trying to protract through hard to the top to get some straightness in with the old pecorinos. I gotta get better at controlling that arm on the way down. And I'm figuring for triceps part 2, gonna come over here to join all my friends on the cable station, which I'm pretty excited for because I brought my prime handles in, and these guys are really nice to run pushdowns with. So we're gonna run pushdowns with them, if that isn't obvious. Needs more weight. Okay, work set time. Hopefully this jump doesn't sneak up on me too much. Oh. 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 We'll do another there. And what I want you guys to notice with how I'm setting up is I'm a little bit further away from the cable tower than I would be on a regular pushdown with the prime handle, because if I suck it into me, get a little bit of forward lean, because the handles are spaced apart, I can push back and get a little bit extra extension through the shoulder, catch some more long head in that shortened position, than I could with a standard push down. And that squeeze feels really nice, so I like it because I like nice feeling things. That sounded stupider than I thought it did in my head, I'm sorry. And I figure if we're here and we got the prime handle out, might as well use it to crank some pull downs. And we finally got a lat tower tall enough that I could use the prime handle and not bottom out at the top, so very stoked. Oh. 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 We'll go up. Not full stack though, because Joel's over there and I don't want him yelling at me. Oh, I missed these handles. Oh. 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 Also, I should mention that with the new shirts dropping, the one that Joel's wearing is going to be going away very soon. So make sure to grab that one if you want it before it's gone. You know what I want to do? Help? I want someone to hold this so this doesn't shoot out. Yeah. But I've been thinking that I really want to do GHR sit-ups, but with no pin here, I'm afraid to try this. So we're going to use the power of friendship, and I'm really going to hope that I don't die. So let me know if it feels like it's pulling too far. That's not too bad, eh? Yeah, this will work. Pardon?
I just anchor my knee into this,
yeah,
and then I can lean back.
And now that I know I'm not going to die, I'll get a little bit more range. And to make her a little bit more harder on me. And get a little bit more global extension, too. Wild how much harder that gets for someone whose rectus abdominis ripped off a couple years ago if you're trying to make it work more rectus abdominis. You want to go?
I'm going to do the...
Oh, lame. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back for the next set.
Yeah, I will.
And the reason I always bring up my old injuries during these vlogs is not to be like, oh, poor me, look what I can't do, let's make excuses. It's to be like, look what I can still accomplish with all the stuff I've done to prove the point at how resilient the human body is if you start asking it to be more resilient. Because in 2022, I botched the walkout on 804 sleeve squat, got way too freaking wide, but had the squats planned, so I decided to take it anyways. And then my left pectineus, adductor longus, adductor brevis, gracilis, and entire rectus abdominis ripped off my pelvis. And after I did that, I talked to literally 8 different surgeons who all gave me a very similar answer, which was basically, it is so jacked up that we're not really going to be able to do anything to help, and your competitive career is going to be over. And after the 8th person told me that, I got so pissed off that I literally just started doing bodyweight squats in his office and then decided that we are finding our way back. So point is, if you feel like something is really jacked up, figure out things that you can do to challenge it, and then do those things until you can progress back towards the things that you can't do. And one of those things that I really prioritized working hard to get back was a GHR sit-up. And obviously when I first started this after all those tears, I couldn't do this at all. Oh, that was scary. Hold it in tighter. But when I couldn't do it at all, how I started is I just had a really heavy ELITEFTS band, and I leaned back till it felt sketchy, then I'd go back up and let the band pull me, and eventually I was able to get her back and add load, and obviously squats came back just fine after the injury. That was supposed to make me never squat again, so yeah. I thought I had a better point than that, but apparently I don't. This is so funny looking. I hope Darrell's in frame. Is Darrell in frame? Okay, no one move. So like I would have added load if I wasn't worried that I'd have to have like a 3-person train to not die. And I think the theme of this vlog is going to be pretty much stoked, but not stoked. And what I mean by that is I'm obviously not very stoked with where loading is on all of my big barbell lifts right now because they are very, very, very weak compared to what I was doing like 5, 6 months ago. But we got to think back to 5, 6 months ago. I was also 50 pounds heavier than I am right now. And 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 plus months ago, I was another 50 pounds ish heavier on top of that. So, like, I really got to be okay that I still am performing this well and that stuff is moving at least decent. And after that initial like strength cratering when the lever changes got big, I've actually held on pretty good through like the last 20 pounds of weight loss, and like stuff doesn't feel that much worse. And I think that if I can continue managing fatigue well and continuing pulling back where it's appropriate, but still keeping work cranked where it needs to be cranked, I think that we should be able to hold onto strength decently through the end of this cut because most of the really big leverage changes are done. I'm kind of just, sucking in a little bit more to seal the deal. And I think like being 230 yesterday, being 235 this morning after the refeed, I really do think that I probably do have at least another 20 that I can pull off. So I'm probably gonna be aiming to be sub 210 at the end of this, but also realizing that, being 230 yesterday, like that is a pound away from the lightest I've been since first year university. So I am really, really, really excited to hit like an adult negative body weight PR because it has been a very long time since I could say that. So I'm stoked to keep it rolling, stoked with how training is going, even if it is a little bit like not fun to feel this week. I'm still doing my best to have fun with it. I'm still doing my best to bring it. And as long as I'm doing my best to do the best that I can, and that the best that I can is still of decent quality, like it's going to work out once food comes back in and I gauge the levers. So all we got to do is keep on cranking, keep on doing the thing, and it's going to keep on working. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Have a good night. And if you need help with anything powerlifting related at all, hit the link below, join the team because I want to be able to help you.